श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्। श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्। नवकंजलोचन कंजमुखकर कंजपदकंजारुणम्। कंदर्पगणित अमित छवि नवनीलनीरज सुंदरम्। पटपीतमानवु तडितरुचिशुचि नौमि जनकसुतावरम्। श्रीराम श्रीराम राम राम सिया राम। श्रीराम श्रीराम राम राम सिया राम। श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्। श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्। नवकंजलोचन कंजमुखकर कंजपदकंजारुणम्। कंदर्पगणित अमित छवि नवनीलनीरज सुंदरम्। पटपीतमानवु तडितरुचिशुचि नौमि जनकसुतावरम्। श्रीराम श्रीराम राम राम सिया राम। श्रीराम श्रीराम राम राम सिया राम। ओंकार स्वरूप
Keep up then with that picture.
Which will decide? It's so high.
No.
Fear, fear, Jai Bhajan. ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था। ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था। अनाथांचा नाथा तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो। ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था। ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था। अनाथांचा नाथा तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो.
नमो माया बापा
गुरु कृपा घना तोडिया बंधना माया मोहा, मोह जाळ माझे कोण निरशील, तुझ वीण दयाळा सद्गुरुराया. तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो. ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था, ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था. अनाथांचा नाथा तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो, तुझा नमो.
is more to it. This line is so good. Oh, the first one. Namo Maya Baba Guru
This is the beginning sota Vicky. You can go here. On this version, there's this transliteration also, so you can sing along. Just sing the sota. We can just find the sota. So we go to the Balkan. We can open the site on the mobile also, it should work.
Yeah, this one, no?
Because those who are comfortable reading in English can read that.
You want English?
We read the first sota. In Balkan, after all the shlokas, we go to the sota, sota 1.
Was it like this? Was it जो सुमेरत सिद्धि? You can read क्या? जो सुमिरत सिद्धि होई, गणनायक करिबर बदन, करऊ अनुग्रह सोई, बुद्धि राशि शुभ गुण सदन, मूक होई बाचाल, पंगु चढ़ई गिरिबर गहन, जासु कृपा सो दयाल, द्रवौ सकल कलिमल दहन, नील सरोरुह श्याम, तरुण अरुण बारिज नयन, करौ सो मम उर्धाम, सदा चीर सागर सयन, कुंद इंदु समदेह, उमा रमण करुणायन, जाहि दीन परनेह, करऊ कृपा मर्दन मयन, बंदौ No, it's not that. Oh, that's the next one.
No, this is the same one.
No, it's still the
बंदौ
same.
गुरुपद कंज,
कृपा सिंधु नर रूप हरि, महामोह तम पुंज, जासु बचन रवि कर निकर, बंदौ गुरुपद पदुम परागा, सुरुचि सुबास सरस अनुरागा,
अभिय मुरिमय
चूरन चारु,
समन सकल भव रुज परिवारु, राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम.
Doha is after, no? That's later. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 after 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the. It starts with Jo Sumirat Siddhi, then this comes, then. No, you just sing. You just sing. Father, should we sing it higher? It's too low. Too low, no? It's low, no? Bandao Guru Pada. Is this okay?
That's the that's this one.
It comes here. That's a what? Do sota? What is that?
Try that with this.
Guru
Padum Paraga. Same, no, Father.
Suruchi Sub. Father, you sing. Sing.
Mangal Bhava.
Sing Mangal Bhava.
Change it.
सरस अनुरागा राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम, अमिय मूरिमय चूरन चारु, समन सकल भव रुज परिवारु राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम सुकृति शंभु तन विमल विभूति मंजुल मंगल मोद प्रसूति राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम जन मन मंजु मुकुर मलहरनी किए तिलक गुण गण बस करनी राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम श्री गुरु पदमनख मणिगण ज्योति सुमिरत दिव्य दृष्टि होती राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम दलन मोहतम सो सप्रकाशु बड़े भाग उर आवै जासु राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम उघरहि बिमल बिलोचन ही के मिटहि दोष दुख भव रजनी के राम सिया राम सिया राम जय जय राम सूझहि राम चरित मणिमानिक सिया राम जय जय राम
Yeah, the Jatha Suanjan.
दोहा अंजृग साधक सिद्ध सुजान राम साधक सिद्ध सुजान कौतुक देखत सैल बन भूतल भूरि निधान तुलसी भूतल भूरि निधान Mics are working.
Fix the order of the book.
What are we reading? Jatha सुअंजन अंजृग साधक सिद्ध सुजान रामा साधक सिद्ध सुजान कौतुक देखत सैल बन
भूतल भूरि निधान तुलसी भूतल भूरि निधान.
What do you want to say?
Guru Padaraja.
Tune.
Tune we forgot. How was the tune, Shiv? The yeah.
Also
Guru
that
Padaraja Mrata Manjulanjana. It's
sir will be sota, so sota will be. On the system, the Doha sequence is not there.
Sota zone. Sota.
What does it say? It will say, no? Cho also should be.
That is after the next this one. That's Chopai, no?
Correct. Correct.
I don't have it. Guru
Padaraja Mridu Manjulanjana Nayana Amiya Drga Tosha Bibhanjan Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram तेहि करि बिमल बिमेक बिलोचन बरनौ रामचरित भव मोचन राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम बंदौ प्रथम महीसुर चरना मोह जनित संशय सब हरना राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम सुजन समाज सकल गुण खानी करौ प्रणाम सप्रेम सुबानी राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम साधु चरित शुभ चरित कपासु निरस बिसद गुणमय फल जासु राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम जो सही दुख परिक्षेत्र दुरावा बंदनीय जेहि जग जस पावा राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम मृद मंगलमय संत समाजू जो जग जंगम तीरथ राजू राम सिया राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम भक्ति जह सुर सरिधारा सरसई ब्रह्म विचार प्रचारा राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम विधि निषेधमय कलिमल हरई करम कथार अभिनंदनी बरनी राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम हरि हर कथा विराजति बेनी सुनत सकल मुद मंगल देनी राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम बटु विश्वास अचल निज धर्मा तीरथ राज समाज सुकर्मा राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम सब ही सुलभ सब दिन सब देसा सेवत सादर समन कलेसा राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम अकथ अलौकिक तीरथ राऊ दे सब फल प्रगट प्रभाऊ राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम सुनी समुझहि जन मुदित मन मज्जहि अति अनुराग राम मज्जहि अति अनुराग लहहि चारि फल अछत तनु साधु समाज प्रयाग तुलसी साधु समाज प्रयाग
I'm audible? Huh? We'll fix the sequence on the websites. There seems to be some mistakes there. Where should we start?
Father, though I am blessed many times with His presence, He blesses me, and in satsangs through you also, I keep choosing
Yes.
Maya. I keep choosing believing in this body, in this mind. And I'm saying this maybe over and over years, but it's still same. I have to say it. So I don't know. You bless me. You pray for me. Whatever it is, seem to keep me here, bound. Please, in this lifetime, I want to be free.
Why do we choose Maya?
Because I think I can get something from it. I know
Yes.
better than God.
So at least for that moment, it seems like there is an offer which is better than being in God's presence. And that offer may be trouble. See, it doesn't have to be just temptation or beautiful things. It may seem like there's a problem that I must solve. You see? Now, the beautiful thing is that if we do His work, He does all our work. You see? So, what is to do His work is to stay with Him, is to be in His presence, is to live in the heart where He has blessed us with His light, to live over there and to allow this body mind to be moved from there in the light of that. You see? There is no better way to do our work than that. You see? This is what we forget because many times, and I'm talking about myself, many times it can seem like I need to come into the egoic mode of operation to do the work. You see? Whereas the one who's actually the only one who has the capability to do anything at all is forgotten in that process. You see? So there is complete safety if we continue to take His name. Don't let the mind scare you out of that. And it needs a lot of faith because uh, what I posted in the contemplation just group just before this, before coming to satsang, was that many times it will seem like a risk. Can I really let this go in my mind at the moment and stay with God? You see? And if it doesn't feel like a risk, then we are not really, then it's a armchair spirituality, just a feel good sort of spirituality. If we haven't been able to render everything to God in that moment, then we are not being spiritual in that moment.
Father, sorry, Father, uh, there's are some connection problems. Maybe you can check if the right
Go back.
connection is.
All right, it should be better now.
Thank
That's
you.
good. So now, if Ram, Krishna, Jesus, Allah were standing with us phenomenally, then we would not worry. You say He's actually with us. You see? Now, what has happened is that what in Maya seems like it's an actuality is the opposite of faith. What in faith seems like an actuality seems conceptual in Maya, And that which seems real in Maya is actually just conceptual in faith. You see? Now, why do we take on so much burden of trying to live this life? Because we don't have faith in the fact that He is actually with us in this moment. And His being with us actually implies that He is taking care of everything. He has carried us in His lap. So, this forgetting and coming into individual doership and reliance on the non existent one is the play of Maya, and the returning back to the true one in our heart is faith. So, by constant remembrance, we deepen in our faith. It's also like a process of development of trust. You see? So, basically, we are just meant to try it out and try it out and try it out, and then we see that He is taking such good care of us, I don't need to worry. So we just have to keep at it, keep at it, keep drowning in that holiness in the heart, and try not to apply worldly mental judgments about worldly progress or worldly things. You see? But this affliction which you talked about afflicts all of us. It is the same affliction, because in that moment God will seem unreal and the world will seem real. So it is said in India that some believe that the world is real but Brahman is unreal. Jagat Satya, Brahma Mithya. The opposite is true. Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya. So whether we live in faith or we live in the mind is determined by what is real for us now.
Father, it feels like I live 99% of the time in the mind and 1% in God's presence.
So what
And it's
percentage of time are we living in prayer?
even at its mind's level, can I count it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's increasing at least.
Very good. Very good. So even if it is the mental level, at least it is like a prisoner saying, I want to escape to God. You see? So that is a crying out to the Lord, saying, help me, save me, which is sometimes the best that we can do at that point. So that can be counted. But when we give in to just know, I have decided that I have to do this, I am going to be me right now. You see, I am on my own in this. All this talk of God is just made up conceptual nonsense. You see, those are the times where the ego has us by the throat, Maya has us by the throat. In those times. I need to do something with this hair. It's going anyway. I will have this problem soon. I think my hair is going anyway, so I won't have this problem soon. Now, I don't know where this is going. These words are just coming. So, what is our relationship with God at the moment? Does it seem like just a made up conceptual idea to give me some peace? Or does He seem like a real presence in my heart? What is the actual construct of our relationship? And that construct will keep deepening as we stay in remembrance of Him through prayer, through taking His name, through the inquiry, through any spiritual path. For the spiritual part to be spiritual, God has to become a reality for us. You see? Because Spirit is God's presence. So Spirit has to become a reality for us. Many of us are dealing with spirituality just in our minds. You see? But you would not do that even with the worldly relationship. I didn't write to you, I didn't call you because I just was thinking about you in my head. What is your partner going to say? Not going to be happy. So we have to recognize the reality of God and the ability that our soul has, that our Antakarna has to make a relationship with God and finally to dissolve into His presence is the point of our spiritual journey. But the problem is that most of our brothers and sisters have only lived on one floor, no? So if you only lived on the 8th floor, then somebody says, but there is a 7th floor also. Say, what are you talking about? I've lived here 50 years. There is no 7th floor. You see? Maybe on the 8th floor itself, I'll find a secret place which you are calling the 7th floor. You see? Maybe what you're saying, I'll find that there only. You see? Because it's so unfamiliar to look beyond our mind intellect. Then it can seem just made up. What is he saying? You see? But all that is valuable, we don't know from the 8th floor. We don't know from the top story. We know it only from the heart. So we need a question which is compelling to us but unanswerable in our intellect. See? A question which is compelling to us but unanswerable in the intellect. You see? But something somewhere deeper knows that this answer can be found. So if the question is, who am I? Or even what is love? Or even a question like, why am I here? We can't really answer it in the intellect, but somewhere we know that the answer is available. So, if these questions appeal to us organically, then that's good. If you were a Zen student, then your teacher would have given you a question like that, that you had to resolve, but you struggle because you cannot resolve it in the faculties that you're using. So, to go beyond the usual modes of knowledge is the yoga of knowledge. Gyana yoga is not to sharpen the existing modes of knowledge, is to go to a higher mode of knowledge. This is called Gyana yoga. Now, some of us may be blessed with a sense of devotion, a sense of love for God, and that love for God wants more and more to deepen in His light and presence, to come to His darshan, to come to His presence first, and to then come into a full dissolution into His presence, which leads us beyond the mind and intellect. The mind and intellect seems very insipid to such a one. No? It seems juiceless, tasteless. You see? So, the same point, which is to go beyond the mind and intellect to meet the Holy One in our heart through the process of deepening in our love and our trust, is called the path of devotion. So, at least on the spiritual path, the first step is to say that I will not take what my mind is offering me, at least as the complete truth. That much must first be there. Otherwise, the narrator for the world, the narrator for Maya, the lawyer for Maya will keep convincing us that this is what is important. Don't worry about that holy meeting. In fact, one of its most devious plots is to convince you that that has already happened. You see? Because who can tell? Only you can tell. You see? So many times, yeah. You see, I speak to someone, especially those who are older than me, and I say, what about Atma Darshan or Bhagavad Prapti, meeting with God? They say, don't worry about that. That has already happened for me long ago. You see? So, and that answer usually shocks me because that is the only thing of value that this one can speak about. And those words are also put in by His grace in His light only. So, spirituality is to let go of the complete conclusiveness of our mind intellect system, to learn to seek in our heart the presence of spirit, and as it is found, then to stay with that spirit, with that Atma for the rest of our life. That is the very design of our soul. Our Antakarna is designed for this higher purpose. You see? Well, it's a multi-purpose design, let's put it that way. It's a dual purpose design. The Antakarna can be fully immersed in Maya also. Not fully, but 99.9% immersed in Maya also. We can immerse all our layers except the very center of our heart into Maya, into desiring, into wanting, in wanting to get more and more out of this world. But that will never seem fulfilling to us. That contentment that we are seeking will not come from that. The only ones that seem content to us are the ones who have filled themselves up with God's light and His love and His presence. So the lane is too narrow. What is the lane? The lane is our soul. The lane is our antakarna. You see? Now there is not room enough in this lane for two. The lane can belong to God or it can belong to the ego. Only one can own this antakarna. You see? We cannot have two masters. It has to be God or ego. So when we make a determination that my life belongs to God, my heart is only yours, Lord, then we make that offering to God, and then the process of clean up within can happen. And because we have made that determination, that offering, that surrender to God doesn't mean that the force of Maya will give up. Many times it will seem like it's acting even more strongly. You see? And the gift that we have to be most careful of in Maya are the seemingly spiritual gifts. You see? Like the gifts of an outer spirituality. You see? That we have to be very careful of. We have to remember that spirituality is about spirit. You see? So Maya dressed up as spirit will not do. Maya dressed up as spirit is the most devious. You see? So don't worry about how the world considers you. If all your neighbors tell you, oh, you become very spiritual, it actually doesn't mean that you have. Hopefully you have, but just by those outer determination of people around you is not it. Do you feel his presence? Do you meet his light? Do you follow his will? So the paraphrasing of the great Sufi quotation was that you will be paid by the master that you serve. If you've done employment for the month with some master, then that one is going to pay you the salary, the wages. So if our life is going in serving the me, then how will we get the spiritual wages? But try to serve the spirit, try to serve the Atma. You see that you will get much more than you could imagine. Don't hedge your bets for some time. Just don't hedge your bets. Just bet on God and see what happens. You're all being a bit safe. You're all being a bit safe. I'm talking to myself as well. Doing that. Yes, God runs everything. He is in charge of my life. I have surrendered. But don't touch my relationship. Don't touch my money. Don't touch the health of my body. Don't touch what I think I understand. Let's not go there. You see? Then what have we actually surrendered to God? Then isn't it just a great convenient self-help method? And which self are we serving? The me, exactly. It's difficult enough when we make that full determination with full-hearted surrender and say, I belong to you, God. It is difficult enough even after that. But when we try to balance it out between Maya and God, it is impossible. What are we hedging our bets for? On one side is God, on the other side is? Yes. And what does Maya offer? Death. Yeah, grasp, get, collect, die. It's a serious absurdity that we are on to. See? What is the point of all this collecting, I'm making a name for myself, I'm collecting money for myself, I'm collecting all of this for myself, and this self is not real, it never existed, and whatever it takes itself to be is going to die. Yeah? And yet, that hypnosis of Maya, yes, it's true, but if only, let me just get that. then my life is for God. Let me just do this, then my life is for God. So these things come on offer, and these don't have to be big things. See? I remember that all of this I'm saying about myself. So I can take Ram's name, Ram, but let me first find out what is the news today myself. Let me find out what is India's position in the World Cup right now. I'm not saying any of these are bad things or we must not do. I'm just saying that what is the exchange that we are making. Now, the beautiful thing is that as you continue your remembrance of God in the form of the name or in the form of the inquiry, then that stays with you. It becomes a natural part of your life. You see? And whatever attention is needed to enjoy this world of Maya without becoming personally involved with it will be provided to us. You see? And this part is important. So that's why I say that first, if you have your life jacket on, then you can jump into the pool. It is that make your practice, make your sadhana solid in your heart. You see, don't waver from it. Stay with that. And then in God's light, in God's presence, whatever action needs to happen in the world will happen. We don't have to become an outer sadhu. We only have to become an inner sadhu. What would we call one who is outwardly full sadhu, inwardly not at all? Huh?
Is Hindi word dumb.
Damb, damb,
Dumb.
damb.
Father
Fake,
taught dumb.
fake.
Dumb is pride.
Dambi.
Dongi.
Dongi, dongi.
Dumb is the
Damb. Yeah. So this fake sadhu many times forgets his fakeness. Why? Because a replacement for meeting God in the heart is to be considered a sadhu in the world. Isn't it? It's a very massive replacement. It's just like everybody thinks I'm a sadhu. Then do I really need to become a sadhu? Or everybody already thinks I'm a sadhu. Isn't it? You see? So that is spiritual ego, spiritual pride. So ego dressed up in spiritual clothes is spiritual pride. Now our complete life and many lifetimes can be wasted in this spiritual pride. Many lifetimes can just go in that mode that actually I'm not spending any time with God, but the world feels that I am. And that should be enough. It's not enough. The world feels I'm a very faithful husband, but I am not faithful at all. You see? So would that then lead to a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage? It doesn't, no? It's just hypocrisy. It is just made up. You see? In fact, may lead to more conflict at home because you say, but everybody knows that I'm so faithful. You see? So our faithfulness towards God must reflect at least 0.1% of His faithfulness towards us. In the sense that how many moments of your life are you okay that He abandons you? 10? 5? 0. So we are expecting full faith. He should not leave me for one moment also. You see? Now, how many moments do we want to abandon Him? You see? So, This is the strangeness of Maya. We don't realize these things. So I'm saying that even if we reflect 0.1% of his faith that he gives us, our faith on him, our life will transform. We were saying the other day that he is so kind and merciful that he's always giving all of himself to us. Our capacity to receive is growing as we are deepening in our faith, but he doesn't hold himself back. It is in this relationship we are the ones that are holding back. Because we still want something from Maya. You see? So part of our heart is always given to Maya, and what is left is given to God. You see? And the strangeness is that who is Maya? What is Maya made up of? Maya is just God dressed up as the trickster. No? God dressed up as the trickster, or as the Christian would say, that the angel who fell for pride, but an angel nevertheless. So can we make this determination, strong determination today, that from this moment on, my entire life belongs to God alone, do with it as He pleases? Yes? Scary? It has to feel a bit scary. That's what we are saying. Yes. To offer the fear also to God, yes. But it must feel a bit scary if we are doing it sincerely. Or we are truly saying that I have no attachments left. I have no attachment left. Because attachments, when the fear of them being taken away comes, then that makes us cling on to Maya. Isn't it? And all of these attachments that we have are just made up over a period of time. Just made up over a period of time. So we all made this determination. We probably made it many times over many years, isn't it? Now, what is the trouble? The trouble is that what is the massive superpower that Maya has? It makes us forget. Who does this life belong to? In that moment, it belongs to me. Mine, mine. You see? Like Gollum in the Lord of the Rings. My precious. You see? We become like that. We become that, like that in our texture inside. When we are stuck in me and mine. And if you're stuck in me and mine, then what happens to God? What happens to God in that time? Try it out. Like hold on to a desire strongly, me, mine, me. You see, God will seem like a very distant idea. And in fact, me seem like the antagonist. God will seem like an antagonist at that point. Like he's trying to, so that's why the Lord of the Rings is a very spiritual book. Because to the desirer, the peace of surrender seems like the worst possibility. He just wants. And this will prevent us from falling into our heart, prevent us from staying still in that holy gate of the temple, will most likely prevent that gate from being opened and his presence from being palpable, and will definitely then prevent us from seeing the reality of who we really are, because we can see the reality of who we really are only through the eyes of the Atma within. It is called intuitive insight. You see, what is that? Atma Gyan is to look through the eyes of the heart, not in some romantic, worldly, silly way. Truly a different mode of knowledge. It's none of that, oh, I am all heart business. I just all heart, I woke up this morning and my heart said, let's go to Lal Bagh and, do. That's just feelings mixed up with thoughts is not heart. What is the heart? When you recognize the holiness of what is being revealed to you, that is the Atma, that is the Gyan flowing through the Atma. So if the process of spirituality is the process of discipleship of the Atma, if you don't spend time with the Atma, how discipleship is going to happen? Just to presume discipleship, like a presumed God, like a presumed me. Everything is just presumed, in the world of Maya. It's all a big seeming. So everything is just presumed. The me is presumed. Where is this me? Who can show? Where is the me? Where is the one we call our name? Made up, presumed, can't find. Is it the body? No. Is it the mind, intellect? No. Where is it? I can't find. Just made up. But the presumption seems safe because there is safety in numbers. Everybody is making the same presumption about themselves, so let me be safe. Then, in that mode, where is God? Where is Atma? At best, in my head. Just made up. Some stories made up, fancy stories in my head. Like the character in The Suitable Boy who kept saying, you might like to try this, and how in British accent, I'll take Jyotima's help. Something that you must go to Piccadilly Circus or something like that, and you must do all of this. So at the end of the book or end of the movie, somebody actually asked him, so when did you last visit? He said, I haven't actually had the pleasure. So, but we must not get stuck in a spirituality like that, where we can speak a lot about love and God and Atma and all of that, but we haven't actually had the pleasure. We must only share what is completely true for us at that point. Why am I ranting, raving so much? No idea. What is the question? The question was left far behind. Yes, the mic. Take some courage to put your hand up after ranting so much, hearing so much ranting. That's okay. It's all right. Just turn it on if it's not on.
Father, when I'm trying to,
Is it on?
हाँ,
Ah.
when I'm trying to go to, तो जैसे मतलब when I'm trying to love Ram ji, right now like there's a felt,
There's a?
मतलब felt love और
It's okay.
उसका क्या फर्क क्या होता है?
I'll make it simpler for you. You know you're trying to love Ramji, then he definitely knows. You see, he will not be confused about that. You see, so then uh, as we go deeper in that trying to love, you will notice that there's a feeling that we call love, but that no feeling is constant. So it comes and goes. You see, so when it comes and goes, like you may love somebody in your family, or let's say you love your husband, then is there always a felt love for him? No. You see? But somewhere deeper than that felt love, you know that you love him. You see? So this is same for parents, children, all these special relationships. So that deeper love, which is independent of the feeling which may change at the moment, is met only through the eyes of the Atma. It is not known mentally or perceptually. You know it only because you know it in your heart. So that I wanted to clarify, but or you can proceed. You wanted to say?
This only. Atma किसको?
Huh?
What is the Atma?
What is the Atma? What is the Atma? This is a very good question. Has anybody asked me that actually before? I don't think anybody has asked. What is the Atma? The Atma is the name that we give for God's presence in our heart. Now, what happened is that for someone to meet the Nirguna directly seems impossible. For someone to meet the Saguna, which is the boundless phenomenality of God that takes birth in God's presence, is also impossible. We can't even imagine 1,000 oranges in our head, no? So how will you meet the Saguna Brahman? We can't. So my version of this is that God realized that we are too limited as in our faculties, so he made himself accessible to us in the form of a very simple organic presence, a being in our hearts. See, that beingness, he has made it so impossible to miss, because that which we call the I am itself is that beingness. You see, so if you go looking for yourself what you are, you will find that same Atma. So God's presence available to us within the core of our soul, within the center of our Antakarna, is called the Atma. When we find the Atma, then through his eyes, the Saguna and the Nirguna is revealed. You see? So you may say the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's the same thing. Nirguna Brahman, Saguna Brahman, and the Atma. You see? So it is not possible, or let me not say not possible, it is highly, 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 highly unlikely that we will come to the revelation of the Saguna or the Nirguna without first being able to come to the Atma and to be able to live in the discipleship of the Atma. So Atma is God's fingernail that we can hold on to meet that which seems so far beyond what we can fathom at the moment. But Atma we can fathom, not fully. You see, because if so that's why I say both perceivable and unperceivable. What is that within you which you may search for as the subtlest perception, but actually unperceivable? That is the light of the Atma within. Because if it was completely fathomable, perceivable, then we would make an object out of it. Then the purpose of finding God would get lost. You may feel like this object is it. You see? And completely unperceivable, unfathomable, then you will have the same problem as Brahman. We cannot fathom at all. So, how does this limited bundle of faculties come to the recognition of that which is so beyond, which is actually his or her reality as well, but not, it doesn't seem that way in the design of this system. So, as a gift of his mercy, he has given us his presence in the form of the Atma, the Holy Spirit. Yeah. That's why this path is called spirituality. Yeah. But see Maya's trick. How many in spirituality actually talk about spirit? You see? Very few. How many in spirituality actually talk about perceptual and conceptual knowledge? Most. Mostly in spirituality, we are talking about experiences, or we are talking about concepts that we picked up from scriptures or teachers. Nobody is talking about the deeper knowledge, which is Atma Gyan, which is spiritual knowledge. Because in Maya's trick, Maya has convinced everyone that that is very rare to get. So don't worry about that. So spirituality is difficult because we have to leave the floor that we are most familiar with. Especially when life growls at you. Life growls at you, you return to what is most comfortable. We return to like that. But if we allow ourselves to meet the growling of Maya, you see, and just what is the promise we made? My life belongs to God. You see? So to meet that push pull when the mind is saying mine, mine, me. Yeah? But you have to remind ourselves, who do I belong to? Who does this me belong to? And remember that this world is a passing dream, will get over. So it seems long when we're living it day by day, but when we look back at it, I look back at half a century, it still sounds absurd to me that this body mind has been here apparently half a century. It doesn't seem like that at all. And the remaining 10, 15, 20, whatever years are left will also go like that. Then what is the capital we'll be left with? You see, what have we earned in this life? All the name, fame, money, bank balance, relationships, all going. What are we going to be left with? This question is impossible to answer, but we are blessed that the sages have given us the answer. You see? So we are going to be blessed with the moments that we spend in God, in God's presence. We are blessed with every time that we have remembered Him. You see? Every time that we remember Him. I feel like you get bonus points every time we remember Him when Maya is really trying hard. So that is the only capital we'll be left with, which cannot be taken away from us. The only punji, as they would say, the sages would say. So build your spiritual wealth. Build your spiritual wealth more than everything else, because everything else is going. Simplest way to build it, take God's name, find out who you are. If you take God's name, or your attempt is to constantly not fall for misidentification, just find out who you are. Maya cannot trap you. Bhaiji said, or Hanuman Puddhaji, or Ramsukdaji said that God's name is like a fire. It burns independent of what our intention was. Whether we did it mechanically, the fire got started, or with full faith you burnt the fire of the Havan, the puja, still burn. So what does it burn? Yeah? Yeah? Burn the ego, but it burns Maya. No? God's name, every time you take it, burns Maya, cuts Maya. And Maya is Maya, so ego. So what is the difficulty now? Maya. It makes us forget this simple thing. No? What am I meant to do at any moment? Ram. Next moment, Ram. Moment after that, Ram. What about after that? Ram. So the mind hates that simplicity. It wants outcome, it wants what happened, is it working, all of this thing. That is why it's important that we trust these time tested traditions which have lasted for thousands and thousands of years of Gyana and Bhakti. Yes.
When this love for God is felt naturally, then it becomes very easy to surrender.
Yeah.
But to feel that love, like for me to listen to bhajans or watching Ramayana or reading about sages, that is necessary. Rarely these days, I rarely feel this love.
Yeah.
Although I'm doing sadhana for at least 3 hours, but to feel that love, then it becomes easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get more points for more difficult. Don't feel like I have to make it easy. Just stay with it. Stay with his name. Stay with whatever practice you're doing, inquiry or taking the name. And easy, in any game, easy is less points than difficult. So this also. So of course, when we are blessed, when we have that feeling, we feel so joyful, it seems easy. But when mind is attacking us, the world seems to be all topsy-turvy, everything, and then we continue. That is when we strengthen our spiritual muscle. You see? So the time when we are just floating in His love, when His presence is felt and His name is resounding in our hearts, Ajapa, those times are just His gift to us. We can't call that sadhana really. We're just enjoying like we entered the holy place, there's such a beautiful environment there, His name is permeating the walls of our heart and just filling it with so much love and light. So that we can't really call a practice, that we have to call just His gift or grace. The practice is when we are facing difficulty and dryness and nothing is being felt, but to continue with our end of the bargain of love. You see? That,
Even at the time of squeezing,
yeah.
it feels easy because that time God is the only refuge.
Yes, very good.
But in the neutrality when nothing is happening, that
That's
time.
that's a good one. Yes, you're very right. That's a very good way to put it. When it is blissful, then it's easy. When we are suffering, we feel like I have to run to God. But when things are in the middle, no, then the mind says, but this you can manage. This you can manage. You don't need to get God into the picture. It's very good. Very good. And most of our time is like that. Most of our time is like that. So it's very important to keep remembering.
Father, can I say something?
Yes, yes.
Uh, you might have said, but I had a bit of an interruption, so I couldn't hear
I see.
everything. Can you say something about this part of Maya where you're doubting too much if it's Maya or from God or something?
Yes, yes. Just don't give you. Okay, I'll start with a simplistic sounding answer, and then if you need more, we can add more. Just what I'm proposing is that we are so unceasing in our prayer that we don't give ourselves the space to fall into this constant doubting or constant worrying or constant any mental constant, because we break it in our determination to just be Ram, 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 Ram. Or who am I? You know the story of who was it? Bhagwan's disciple who he built, Annamalai Swami, who was getting too involved in ashram activities and maybe politics or whatever. So Bhagwan built him a hut outside the ashram, just outside, and said, you are going to live over here and you will constantly only ask yourself, who am I? Your food will be brought to you. You don't have to talk to anyone. You will just be in the inquiry throughout till you come to the recognition. Okay? So that's how he became Annamalai Swami. So like that, we just not going to. There are many times, maybe it's a rude answer, but many times these days, the answer just comes from here saying, where is the time for that?
Hmm.
Where is the time? If our project is just to be Ram, 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 then when we catch ourselves, but why like this, what like that, then we catch ourselves, we are not to say what that was, nothing, just return to Ram, 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 Ram.
Hmm.
You see? So then we keep this up, and then again we get caught in something. Da, 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 da. What about this? What about that? Then when we catch ourselves, we don't analyze. We do no postmortem. We return to God, Ram, Ram, Ram.
Yeah. Thank you. I also feel the same.
Yeah,
The thing is, I also asked Rupert a bit this question,
yeah,
and he said something that when you have a decision to make about something in life, like it seems an important decision,
yeah,
can be with whatever job, place, relationship, you should look towards that. You should put your attention towards that and try to come as much from your love and understanding as possible. It's
yeah,
not the time then to do self-inquiry, or because that decision needs your attention and it needs your focus outward, not inward at that time.
yeah,
So um, I I see the truth in both, but
Yeah.
it so
It's a historical fact that to be able to synthesize two pieces of guidance from two different expressions sharing God has always been next to impossible. So that's a conundrum that you created for yourself. you, you have to just then take it like a Zen thing, no?
yeah. Well, thank you, Father, for your answer.
Thank you, my love. Thank you, my dear. Why does this happen? It happens because it is not about what we are understanding conceptually. No? It really is that everybody will have a certain way of guiding us beyond the old egoic modes of knowledge into the higher knowledge. And that higher knowledge itself gives us the knowledge. Like there is a fallacy that the higher knowledge is only about God's reality. It is also telling us what is God's will for us in this world. So every teacher of God has a different method by which they lead the disciples, the students, the listener to the higher knowledge. And usually in God's uh, mysterious ways, they are very difficult to reconcile and to put together, especially if the expressions have very different makeups, very different conditioning, very different ways of approaching spirituality. Then to try and reconcile is very difficult. So that's why for centuries the Advaitins and the Buddhists have fought about the notion of shunyata, where that which they may call shunyata, we may call the highest. And of course, being leaning towards Advaitin, I will try to squeeze their entire framework into mine by saying that they are saying shunyata because it's beyond conceptualization, and every bit of conceptualization only gets in the way. And only after ridding themselves of all that conceptualization coming into shunyata do they recognize what is Buddha nature. I will squeeze it this way. A Buddhist teacher will take what I am saying and squeeze it their way. So that is the problem with words and frameworks. So it's bound to happen, and sometimes our heart is drawn to all of these paths. Like my heart is completely drawn to everywhere where I send, when I smell the flavor of God, then I take it upon myself to do that churning in my heart. Sometimes we feel like we made life difficult for ourselves. Why listen to Bhaktas, to Advaitins? Why listen to Sufi masters? Why listen to all these Zen people? Why listen? Because I'm drawn to it. There's a fragrance about it. You see? Then when I come across the contradictions, I have to keep working on it in my heart and wait for the heart to provide the resolution if there is one. So based on our temperament, we may enjoy meeting various expressions, various forms of and that's fine. But then we can't expect the answer to be linear. It has to then be given to the heart, both has to be taken to the heart and for the guidance to arise from there.
Father, on the God's will um, sense, because I resonate very much with just forget about anything that has too much choice in it and too much doer. and just dissolve in that seeing, or it just stay with God's name, or dissolve in that seeing that there's only God, so then there's no choice, there's no chooser. So then is it okay then whenever it's too strong of a sense of a choice to leave that and to just come back to the to that to God in any way that is possible? Or you feel it can also be a strong sense of choice sometimes, that it's also in God's will, and then you have to see what is God's will in that case.
So, if by choice making we mean reliance completely on the intellect, then I would not suggest that. If the choice seems to be that my intellect is pushing me in one way and my heart is taking me another way, then I would say to stay with the heart. If the question is whether I should go to the intellect at all for choice making or just stay in the heart where all this intellect dissolves, I would say stay in the heart.
Yes, well, if it would be clear at all times that what is the heart and what is the intellect, then it would be much easier because
Yes, but it's not easy.
I wouldn't have a. The only difficulty for myself is to discern, and then it's more easy for me to leave that because I can't discern sometimes what is the intellect and what is the heart. And then it's more easy to just stay with God and dissolve everything there. But then it's like, okay, I'm not going to choose anything. It's just my life is, if it's going to flow. So that's, I can do that. If
Yes,
you, if,
two things coming to say about that. That I may be accused of many, many things, but nobody can accuse me of saying that this is easy. So, easy it is not. Simple it may be, easy, but easy it is definitely not. So, it's not easy to discern between Maya and God's will. Then, but the second part of your answer, the question or answer, was that I can easily leave everything and just rest with God in my heart. Then that is to be in the heart. You don't then have to discern which is mind and which is heart. If you can easily
yeah,
leave that whole uh, construct aside and you can just stay with God in your heart, then that is the heart that I'm talking about.
okay, that's good because maybe there's somewhere where it feels like I need to be responsible in some way also towards the outer whatever would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
duties or
yeah.
to I don't know.
Yes. So I would say that in spirituality, our highest responsibility is to be with spirit and to allow things to flow from there.
Mm, yes, I'm happy for that.
Very good. Yeah.
Thank
Tell me what Rupert said about it, and we'll try to synthesize something.
you. No, Father, he's
As long
also
as
putting
as
this
long as I don't get any
primarily.
angry email from him saying, "What are you telling him?"
No, he's not
Yeah,
like that,
I know.
Father. It's like it's also primary this whole. But he puts it more easy. Like, yeah, you just choose from your understanding and love. And it's like, okay, it's like it seems very easy how he puts it. Like you just live the life normally and don't make a distinction between life and spirituality, and then it's like it it merges. And I see that somewhere also because there is so much um, unwillingness to go with anything else than God, then I get too much into figuring out mode. Um, and I got a relief from seeing that actually there's nothing but God in the world also, but that doesn't make everything okay, of course. So although God is there,
As you said, the answer is sounding absolutely right to me. You see? So now you're in big trouble.
Yeah, it's my what to do. It's my love
Because we can
of
look
this.
at it like
Just
that. Why divide so much? Just life is there. You have to make a choice. Make a choice. Get on with it. Don't stress about it. I can work with that. It's fine. What to do now?
no, I take it. I from this I could see clearly that it's something that is troubling me. That's not worth it. So it's not worth it to go into any of that and just forget anything else than but God. So that's more feels more peaceful for me. So I'll stay with that.
Very good. Very good. It's very good.
Thank you, Ananta.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear. Yannick says my current employer's name is Maya. That's why I was considering. That's why I was considering dropping it. Huh? Ours too, yes. It's also a very common name in India also. Maya. But the way they spell it over there, he spelled it M-A-J-A, so Maja. So Maya also, like Maja is excitement, fun in Hindi. So it proposes that many times. No? It's that so boring what you're doing, just sitting around. What you need, have some fun, do something in your life. Isn't that what most of our families tell us? You're just vegetating away. Actually, the body is vegetating away, whether we like it or not. The the humble attempt is to just follow the words of the ones that are most credible in the world, which is the sages, and to recognize from what they are sharing that there is something beyond life and death, and we can find that while we're still alive in this body. So for that, we just have to leave that maja for some time. Huh? The so saza is punishment. So in the world, you see, so if you enjoy Maya, she will not. So another way to look at that various thing is to say that if you work for Maya, she will not leave you without paying you, and that payment is the punishment. You see? Okay. Oh, he said. Sweet. So Ramsukdaji has said that if you fall into Maya, if you attach yourself to Maya, you will have to suffer it. There's no way around it. You just have to pray to God's mercy. I like that. That's such a. Okay. Any other question? Okay.
It's more like exposed because I was talking about it to some extent with Meera. I feel like because now that job and all of that, I'm not doing this healing
Yes.
thing, no?
Yes.
There's just a lot more space.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm seeing that it's more of a sense also, I'm not quite sure, Father, that sometimes I feel like I tend to fill up my the Antakarna with a lot of rubbish.
Yeah.
And it's very clear, like I just fill it up because I feel like the grooves of doing things a particular way.
Are not groovy.
Yeah. Now, like say for example, I have a lot of space. I don't want to go to work I invited.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to go there. I like something in my heart, I know that वहाँ जाते ही अल्टरनेटली मुझे नहीं आना था.
Yeah.
But I still end up doing that. Spend sometimes the whole day, and there also I try to.
What makes you? Like the fear of what she will think?
No,
or-
that so I feel like I also have something that, like, in a sense, some need for something there, like, company, or like, or something.
What do you want out of Maya? Like the most? Like what is Maya's promise? If you only had this, life would be so much better.
I don't know. I'm not able
To be loved by them or to...
But I feel like that love also feels fika compared to what I have probably with my sisters.
Yeah.
Or with you, when just, or in my own heart, like the love feels more
Authentic.
authentic. That I know it's fika. Like, I know there's something's corrupt in the world.
What is the offer you can't refuse?
Validation.
Validation. That's a good one.
Be like that image is at stake.
Just that approval.
Yeah. And my cousins are coming on April
Okay.
for 3 days. And they're coming on a Monday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday or Thursday. That is also like the fact that I might have to like step out with them,
Acha.
or because I don't want to, I want to be in Satsang.
Friday?
Friday evening is on Satsang. But even that, like, even there's so much pressure about this image thing. That
Of course.
and I feel like because of this, something gets filled up, like it just gets, without wanting it, I fill it up with something.
So as we are trying to take God's name constantly, then whatever our insides are filled up with will come to the surface more and more to be seen. So we are talking about the other thing also on chat. So I would say keep at it and allow these things to get released, to be seen, for God's light to shine on them and to be released. Because if you try to be too tactical and strategic about how to deal with these things, then that will become more convoluted many times. Just belong to God and don't forget that. Just pray to not forget it, like Ram Sukhdaji said, that may I not forget, may I not forget. The good thing in all of this is, like she said, I'm trying to love Ramji. Now, if we are able to say that we are trying to love God more and more, there is no way that He doesn't know that. So that should reassure us. And all these things that we are looking at for ourselves, what comes up, what grooves we have, what conditioning we have, it's very good. As it comes, we allow it to just get released from us. Because many of these things we never even realized we had. You see? Our conditioning, our vasanas operate in secret. You see? Now they're coming to the surface. The mind will try to use that to scare us more and more. You see? Say thank you for showing me, thank you for showing me, thank you for showing me.
Even when I don't forget, I give in because I think I'm doing good. I've put in effort. So some break is okay.
Yeah, so when you don't forget, what is the forgetting that we are talking about? Huh? The forgetting is that we forget to be in His constant remembrance. So if we have justified it to ourselves saying that, but I'm doing this for God only, Is that how you mean it? Or you mean that you're constantly with him and yet the action is happening in that?
I mean, suppose the japa is happening, and like you said, small examples, checking cricket or whatever,
Huh? So,
checking the cricket match.
yeah, yes,
I don't do that, but
yes.
I'm giving a safe example. So if I do that, and then the excuse I give myself is that God knows I'm trying hard. So now and then I can give in, and He's okay with it.
Right. It's not. I mean, I'm scared to say it's all right. But you get the sense, no? That like mostly, yes, God is very, very kind. But also, life will keep showing us. Our heart will keep showing us when we are going too much. So it's not easy to answer because He's so merciful. At the same time, we have to be careful. So between that, you can draw the line somewhere. Right? Because if I say no, you must not. You see, firstly, I can't because I do. So I would be hypocritical. Yeah. If I said no, you must never leave his name, then first I have to elevate myself to that level to be able to say that. Secondly, that many times when it is heard like that, it can seem the mind can make that very oppressive. You see, and make it a fearful condition or something like that. So I don't want to do that. So between His mercy and our faithfulness towards Him, we have to find in our heart what is the right line. Good, good. You can sing some bhajan. Which are the ones we're going to sing that day?
I'm ready to sleep. We didn't talk today. I was quite.
That other version of Sri Ram. Yeah. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman. Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Haran Bhava Bhayadarunam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Haran Bhava Bhayadarunam. नवकञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुखकर कञ्जपदकञ्जारुणम् श्रीराम श्रीराम कन्दर्पगणितमितछवि नवनीलनीरदसुन्दरम् पटपीतमानहु तडितरुचि शुचि नौमि जनकसुतावरम् श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भयदारुणम् श्रीराम श्रीराम बंधु दिन या रामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भयदारुणम् नवकञ्ज लोचन कञ्ज मुख कर कञ्ज पद कञ्जारुणम् कंदर्पगणित अमित छवि वनील नीरद सुंदरम पटपीतमानहु तडित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम् भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्यवंशनिकन्दनम् रघुनन्द आनन्द कन्द कौशल चन्द दशरथ नन्दनम् सिर मुकुट कुण्डल तिलक चारु उदारु अंग विभूषणम् चाप धर संग्राम जित कर दूषणम् तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि रंजनम् हृदय कंज निवास कुरु कामादिकल धल गंजनम् श्रीराम सुन मम हृदय कंज निवास कुरु कामादिकल दल गंजनम् what was the line? What was the line? मम हृदय कंज निवास कुरु कामादिकल धल गंजनम्. I'm not sure.
Abide in the groove of my heart. Lotus. Hriday Kanj means the groove of my heart, defeating the enemies of. Like abide in the sanctum or the groove of my heart, and defeating the enemies like Kam and other Mayas, Kamo, Madmatsar, six. हाँ खल the enemies, the झुंड है ना काम के साथ, और कामादि means काम क्रोध मोह है ना, so the enemy of these you defeat them and abide in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
king, the lord of gods. Sur Bhup means Sur means devtas and Bhup means king.
King of Kings.
Tul- so at the end of Hanuman Chalisa, Tulsidas ji makes prayer that, O Lord, O King of all gods, please abide in my heart. Hriday Mahadera. 2 times. Please make a dwelling in my heart. I am always your servant. Tulsi Das Sada Hari Chera. Kije Nath Hriday Mahadera.
So, like Saint Teresa of Avila said, that in the core of our heart, He delights to stay. And in the words of the Atma Darshan Samadhi that came here, bless my heart with the light of spirit. So everyone is asking for the same grace of God, for His presence to be felt in our hearts, for us to come to Atma Darshan, for us to live in that holy presence. But it's so beautiful when great sages like Tulsidas ji and Saint Teresa of Avila can continue to make this prayer in spite of the fact that we all know that Lord's presence was so apparent for them in their hearts. You see? And yet they remained in their humility to constantly ask for this. Never take it for granted. May all of us be blessed with this holy revelation of His presence in our hearts. There's also somewhere where it's Hidaya Nivasi. Is there some line like that? What is that? Is it in is it in Jaya Abhinasi? Huh? Which one? Sabghat.
पुनीतम माया रहित मुकुंदा जेहि लागी बिरागी अति अनुरागी विगत मोह मुनि वृंदा निशिबासर ध्यावहि गुणगण गावहि जयति सच्चिदानंदा शारद श्रुति शेषा ऋषय शेषा जा कहूँ को नहीं जाता जेहि दीन पियारे वेद पुकारे द्रवहु सुश्री भगवाना द्रवहु सुश्री भगवाना त्रिविध बनाई संग सहाय न दूजा सो करहु आहारी चिंत हमारी तीन पूजा।